Yeah, born in Texas, Fort Hood, Army brat, you know what I'm saying? So we moved around a lot. You know, every 3 years I was somewhere else for a while. I came to Illinois at 15. The main thing, people used to always come to Fort Hood to clean with New York mixtapes. That was the thing, them underground tapes that nobody had. Everybody wanted the new stuff first, so that turned me on, you know what I'm saying? I listened to, I was fortunate enough to go to Germany overseas in like 78, 79, so 4th, 5th, and 6th grade I was in Germany, and that's when I first heard Sugar Hill, Curtis Blow, and all that, so I was turned on. My mom's had to play some Marvin Gaye, Stevie Wonder, Luther, OJ's, like all that good shit. You know what I mean? Oh, can I say that? You know, I grew up to that real stuff, real music. You know, Motown sound with, you know, like real lyrics and soul felt. You know, so that's what I give out in my music. I try to create that same feeling that I get when I listen to something, like something with substance in it. It started in high school because we was like listening to it so much. It was like the music was just so, it was a good time to be alive, I could say, but like I was born at a time where like a lot of trends got started and set, and a lot of it is absent today, you know what I'm saying? And we grew up in a real time where people was really taking over, like in the 80s, and you know what I'm saying? It was like the 80s was real time. Yeah. No. Okay, it started like 18, 19, like after high school. I was like, man, there's so many people out here getting this love and doing this rap thing. Let me see what I can do. I just stayed to myself a lot, and just the music just inspired me to start being creative. So I wanted to see what I can come up with. It was like the bond I felt with the dudes that I listened to. Like my main four was like Ultramagnetic, KRS-One, PE, and you know what I'm saying, Def Jeff, Big Daddy Kane. Those, like, it was so strong and powerful. It was talking to me, you know what I mean? And what they were saying, it was like, you know, that I didn't grow up in the city, so it was like I felt like I was missing something, and they was giving it to me. Okay. You know, it was like going to school. Yeah. Art Hopkins, like my roommate in Highland Park. He was like, his mom was like German, and his pops was American Indian, and like the story was told, like his grandfather was one of the ones that created, like at the playgrounds, those like little certain jungle gyms, like he created that. Okay. So I don't know what kind it was, probably the round thing with like the bars you climb on, something, it was something crazy. But he was just like my Elijah Muhammad. He like brought a lot of stuff to me and made me aware and like all that kind of stuff. It was crazy, the knowledge that he had. But when you talk to him, he was real intelligent and smart. People thought he was like a book nerd, bookworm nerd, but he was really close to the streets and, you know, doing a lot of stuff. He used to play basketball a lot, track and basketball. Yeah. And he'd go down, he went to Maryland, and he used to play with a lot of the dudes from DC, and he just picked up on a lot of stuff and brought it back. And I picked up on it too, like, damn, this dude, you don't think he's like a brother, you know what I'm saying? He's black, but he ain't black, you know what I mean? He kicked it in all circles, all crowds, and it's good when you can, you know, different cultures, and kicked it with a lot of people that you can just like be 360 wherever you go. You can be in the hood and talk, you can go to like suit and tie meetings, and everybody just, you're not like standing out, and you're not ignorant to a lot of things. He was very knowledgeable person. Okay. So he was the one that guided a lot of my raps. That was my first rap partner. It was just a neighborhood friend. You know, the Fort it was real cool for us because we were like, Fort Sheridan is like the smallest Army base I've ever been on. It's like you could walk the whole thing in 2 hours.
Yeah.
And I grew up in Fort Hood, which is like the largest. That was like Chicago to me, Fort Hood. And then coming to Fort Sheridan, and it was like we was right on the lake. It was like we were privileged, but we felt like the thought was like you weren't. We didn't have no money, but we kicked it in Highland Park. We went to Highland Park, so we had a lot of rich friends.
Yeah.
So we got to go a lot of places, Lake Forest, all this money around us. And it was like, it was a good time for us if you really recognize where you was at, and the friends that we made, you know, it's paying back to us like today, 10 years later, you know, 15 years later. Just the connections that we had and the people that really like looked up to us, because there was only like 40, 50 of us. So we had to have a certain bond. We were the Fort dudes, Fort kids,
yeah,
and the Army kids. So it was like we all had a special bond with each other because it was only so many of us going to a school like that, you know.
And that's how you came met L.O.D. And then from there, you started working with Mad Max to produce your second
L.O.D.
demo.
lived, I got off the subject. L.O.D. lived on my block.
Okay.
And we was Chatfield Court.
Okay.
Right, that was crazy. We did a lot of stuff at Columbia because that's where...
Columbia College.
Yeah. That was like a hip-hop mecca for certain cats because it was like they was going there for engineering, managing, doing a lot of stuff with hip-hop, and a couple of our Rubber Room producers, Kevin, I think, and maybe Aaron too, they both went there.
Yeah.
So it was like we got a lot of shows and they was paying, you know. I mean, that's when we got kind of turned on to the whole Columbia College thing. Like they bred a lot of MCs coming out of there. It was like, it was more like a hangout to the school because there was always something going on, like a function or something.
Yeah.
But that catered to a lot of our hip hop needs, hooking up that Columbia thing. So if somebody had access to a camera and they was like, we gonna shoot a video. So like 12, 13 of us went down by the lake and just shot this video for Down With The Sound. I think my man Larry Bailey still got that somewhere.
Yeah, about that.
It's in the archive somewhere. We gotta dig that up. Just like made up of so many soloists. I just saw all these dudes coming up, like trying to get their feet wet in the rap game, and we was all serious. So we all just kind of bonded together, and that's how it started, just kicking raps back and forth and just getting swept away with this hip hop thing. You know, it was calling all of us, and so I decided to just put people together because it was, I don't know, it's just something that, like something that's inside of me that be calling me and telling me to do stuff, some intuition be telling me to do things, and I create things like that. Make people love each other.